have to bring up the will, the power, and that is the creative force. The Creator gives us that force because we are that force, I mean within. And that's why we are able to function, can speak, can see, and so on. Think. But then, in order to hit the target, that force, right, need to be reversed. Right? And that is the so-called demonic, and the negative, the dark, want to keep us back. But you cannot have reach a target without this force, but also you cannot reach a target when you have the strength, the power to stand stable, to be centered, and to control the duality, and have a focus, and have the will at that moment, see, that you can release yourself from the illusion, from the satanic, and then we can make a choice, and that is called to be, the choice to be, right? To be one with the Creator. You have to have the focus, you have to have the help, the strength, right? And the surrender to Creator's law, and transcend the illusion and release it, then you hit the target. So humanity has come to that point now. But because of this satanic order, again, it's not said in a demeaning way at all, because they've been doing an excellent performance to create today, to create what we have today, extreme anti-creation in every detail. And that's why you have this consumerism, and they do everything possible to destroy anything that can help us with ascension. Deforestation, for example, pollution of the earth, of the ocean, because our blood and the ocean have the same salinity and same mineral composition. The reason why we can live on land, because we carry the ocean within us. And it's by that blood that we are able to be on this planet, to manifest, to function, to feel, to have emotion, to think, to discern, to make choices, to create, because of blood. And the blood comes from food. You see? So whoever controls our food, controls our blood, controls our entire functions. And now they want to replace the human body with artificial body parts, clone us in the image of an inferior God, control our emotions through the media, through entertainment, control our thinking, similarly with education, control our discernment. So that's what education is for, through science and so on, half-truth. Control our will, that means we cannot move unless we obey secondary laws, and also ultimately control our identity. That means we cannot identify ourselves the way the Creator has meant us to be. To be. You cannot say I am to be today. If you say that, you'll be arrested and you'll be imprisoned. And many occasions people are beaten up and even tortured. Same as at the time of the Inquisition. That happens today in hospitals. That is torture. Why are people in hospitals? Because they don't basically obey Creator's law. And so they don't maintain this creation in human form, right, by Creator's law, and we ate all the junk, we become consumer through supermarkets and so on, and malls. And so the results are, right, complete self-destruction. They call suicide, indirectly suicide. So then that way we cannot realize the plan. when we continue, if we continue as it is today, to be consumer, fully unable to say, I am. We are not the passport, we are not the driver's license, we are not the credit card, we are not the social security number, we are not the picture, we are not the fingerprint, we are not the DNA. We are the Creator's within us, and it's fully supported by this creation. So it is our responsibility to extend creation through us. Through us. See, when we make the choice to be, we extend creation through us. To realize that we are the creator of our own reality. So this is forbidden. It's outlawed. And the demonic side, they have been given the power temporarily, again, to create this extreme duality, creation and anti-creation. But that is over. The experiment is over. We have to return. And how can we return? I want to show you this other illustration. You see, they come from the same source. And from here, there are two paths, you see. One is infinite. It's controlled by Creator's law. And on the other path, the other side of the portal, that's the illusion, the temporary, and then we continue that path, we end. We go back to the nothing, to the void. And that path, right, is controlled by the dualistic law, symbolized by the cross. Has a beginning and an end. This is beginningless and endless. That's infinite. So how can you come back? You have to make Creator's law the primary constant. When we do that, when enough humans do that, or enough beings who want to be true human, by following that path of return, the cross can be put into circle, and we have then created a portal. Now, to understand this portal in another way, you see, we are right now in the fourth world. In other words, we went through the first world, the second world, the third world, and now we are finalizing the fourth world, so we can enter the next world. We call it the fifth world. The formula, or a way to say it also, we can formulate it in a different way. The seed is in the tree, and the tree is in the seed. That's how it happens in reality. But also in a cosmic sense, in the spiritual sense, same thing. Right? From seed to seed to seed to seed. So right now we are forming the seed. But when you have the seed, you have to plant the seed, you have to create the next tree. And how do you do that? Same thing as we do farming. You need chaos. You need to plow the soil, you need to make chaos. Then with the proper conditions, you put the seed in the ground and it can grow. We manage through this so-called satanic way of life, satanic order, we manage to create chaos, confusion on all levels. Physical chaos, people get cancer, degenerative disease, you name it, diabetes, suicide, confusion, psychological chaos, emotional chaos, mental chaos, spiritual chaos, social chaos, financial chaos, You name it, total chaos. Right? So we have the condition, we managed to create a condition, but now we have to create the seed. And how do you create a seed? We have to unify the beginning and the end, the alpha and omega. So the seed contains the whole tree, the beginning and the end. The beginning and the end. This is the seed that we have to bring now back to the eternal path. And how do you unify the alpha and omega? From within. That means we have to have control over the seed. Now the dark side want to destroy that seed. That's why we have so-called Monsanto. Destroying the seed, retarding the seed, so that we cannot create the new world. We cannot see it, because they want to own us. That is their nature. They want to own us, contain us in their own artificial world. That's why everything is artificial. And make humanity seedless. Right? So we cannot continue. We can be contained in this satanic order of illusion. That's why. And they're doing a great thing for themselves, I mean expressing their true nature. And we cannot deny that they are really supreme in doing that. But how about the people who, the beings who are not of that order, or who have a different purpose in this creation? These are so-called the good people. Right? But it's true that evil thrives there where good people do nothing. So where are the good people? Where do they, how are they expressing their nature? You see? And they continue to be consumeristic. They want just to be comfortable. I need money. I need a job. I need my comfort. I need my video games. That's how we educate our children. Good people that do nothing. And then we go after this so-called conspiracy theories. And oh, this is bad people, conspiracy. But we are collaborating with this conspiracy by doing nothing. Cowards. Okay? So how can we create a seed? From within, not from without. See? Because outside is, they go by laws, and it's like this. Right and wrong. Right? So it can be controlled. As long as we go by these laws, we can be controlled from the outside. But Creator's law is from within. The unchanging change. See, by making the law of the Creator a primary constant, right, we can unify the Alpha and Omega. And how do you do that? See, to make change, right, you need opposites, but these opposites need a unifying center, a catalyst, so that they can flow into one another. And that unifying catalyst, that's missing, not strong enough. And that unifying catalyst is the total memory. It's carried by our blood. And that blood is created by the food, by the total memory. People today don't eat the whole grains anymore. They have replaced this with foods that don't have much memory or no memory at all. Such as white flour, that means grains that have been refined. There's no seed anymore. Sugar, refined foods. Potatoes, has no seed. refined foods, including chemicals, aspartame, tartrazine, fluoride, aluminum, all putting in food. Today when you buy bread, this commercial bread, before normally what is wheat or flour, salt and water, that's all. Later add yeast to it to make it rice, but originally it was not. But now you have a whole list of chemicals, right, all creating reactions within us to separate the left and the right brain. And you cannot unify, you cannot be centered. Even in body care articles, like toothpaste, like Colgate, Stripe, and so on, 99% is aluminum to stunt the brain. You cannot go beyond, right, the ionosphere, because the ionosphere that contains, see, the consciousness of this world is about 500 kilometers up. That borderline correlates, that frequency correlates with the frequency of our brain. So when we don't have a memory that has to come from the inner, we cannot transcend this ionosphere. This is a prison. And that's why this dark side, right, they did a great job, but they managed, see, to control this ionosphere with a satellite system. And through the computer system and so on, by which we communicate primarily, we cannot communicate with creation and the creator. But when we restore our total memory from within, we can use the limit or stepping stone. That's the point. See, use the limit or stepping stone so that we can be free. A limit is not to limit us, but to make us free. But we have to transcend it. We have to be able to discern and have the courage to make the choice. We have to act. Not belong to the good people who do nothing. They're holding on to their properties, their fame, the name, and money and so on. And the illusions. Cannot do it. So we came to this planet, right, with the power of the Creator, and through the earth, by making the earth a portal of peace, through human potential, we can return with a new consciousness of freedom. And so with that consciousness, you can transcend this fourth world and enter the next world. So the east and the west on the horizontal plane, that's why we have this time out, a delayed perception of the moment, you say. And so through this earth evolution on the horizontal plane, we reach now the extreme polarity, and by that polarity we can unify within, and so by that center we can transcend on the vertical plane and come back. Right? So when we want to create the seeds from within, that means unify the extremes which are within on the conscious level, the mind and the heart. By the mind we are able to explore the external and have an experience or even create illusions. It separates. That's why we think from the brain, right? So we can separate a right brain and left brain. So in conjunction with a much greater separation with this east and west, right? So we involve the whole earth on the mental scale that we have been doing, but now the left and the right, the east and the west have to unify. And by that union, we can unify it with the heart, because the heart always wants to unify. So when the mind can be unified within, then we can unify the heart. And by that union, the heart can control the mind. And then the seed is created. We can continue the next journey. So how can we unify these extremes? We need a center. And that center has to have a total memory. And that has to be carried by our blood. So where does our blood begin? Here. It's transmitted by biological transmutation. Food, after we eat it, becomes our blood. And it's by that blood that contains a total memory, right, that we can see oneness. And when that food is not complete, that memory is not complete, then we cannot see oneness. That's why when people are drunk, right, because that food is so refined, not complete, not balanced, see double. And on all levels they create chaos. Physical chaos. Drunk people want to destroy. The feelings. They don't have feelings. Right? They hurt themselves. They don't know. Emotions. They're completely out of balance. They become emotional. People, drunk people. They cannot speak. They cannot see straight. They cannot think. They cannot discern. And they have no will. They just fall down. And they don't know who they are. That's how drunk people act. But you don't have to drink alcohol to get drunk. It can happen in a slow way. With food, with beverages, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and so on. Sugar. That's how you can get drunk. Look, what's happening here in microcosm of all people. Here, Hopi. Peaceful ones, suppose. Peaceful being. Hopi means peace. They're not peaceful today. They're completely sick. Overweight, diabetes, cancer, suicide, even murder is increasing. Families break up. And they are a microcosm of the earth. And this happens all around the world. America has been destined to become the leading nation of peace. So they create wars for peace all around the world. They are always involved in all wars to protect the humanity from evil. But both sides are financed by the same bankers. Come on, it's a joke. By now, it has become a public secret, as all Americans you meet on the street. Now this Twin Tower, this 9/11, right, was instigated from the inside under the Bush administration. It's a public secret. Everyone knows it. And no one is doing anything. Good people do nothing. They just go along. And all of humanity in the world goes along with that. All around the world, on airports, we allow ourselves to be treated as criminals. Oh, you are potential terrorist. That's why we search your body. And it's happening all around the world. People have completely no will anymore. Because why? Because they are not able to control their blood, their food. They all buy their food in the supermarkets. Drink Coca-Cola and so on. And look at the sky, all these chemtrails containing aluminum to contain humanity within this ionosphere and become a prisoner. So what is the key? Is to open that gate, that portal. That is food. But who wants to give up their palliatives? They want to continue to have sugar and be lazy. They want to cook. And this out of control of food started with the Inquisition. It was not a long time ago. So question, who were the ones who were most targeted by the so-called Inquisition? First of all, the ones who controlled food. They were the women. They were the first medicine people. When a woman was known as a healer at the time, she got burned alive, tortured in public, in the most gross way. And the midwives bringing forth the children in a good way. And the alchemists, because they understood Creator's law. These three people were the main targets. When you're an alchemist, without any form process, you're tortured, killed, burned alive, and so on. Now, today, who's controlling the food? Not any longer the women in the kitchen, because the kitchen used to be the center of government. That was the first government, the first church, the first hospital, the first laboratory of alchemy, the first school, the first center of economy. That's why every home at that time had their own bank. They're storing the original money, which is grain, wholesale grain. And by the grain you secure your own sanity, but also your concept and perception of law. Because that food enables you to think in a universal sense. All of this is now up to the external government, external hospital. That's why the hospital had the same symbol as the Inquisition, the cross, and so on. The laboratory, where they create tinker on food and later the medicine that you need, because that food makes you sick, of course. So we have accomplished what we need to accomplish in the first stage. One becoming two in the extreme, which is now extreme, the two had to become one. But then the good people, they are the ones who are failing. So don't point out to the evil people, because they are evil. They're supposed to be evil. They're supposed to be destructive and corrupt. But how about the good people? I don't see them. And we need their help. A place like this needs help. I don't see them. In many other places, you don't see them. Once you touch the money, they run away. And they get very angry when you ask for the money. When you touch the property, private properties. I'm the owner. No, the Creator is the owner. Your kingdom come. You will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay, remember that. I'm not a Christian, but it is the universal truth. That's the greatest truth. Actually, I'm a Christian, and a Mohammedan, and a Islam, and a Buddhist, and a Hindu. We're all one. When I say I'm not a Christian, I'm not Christian in that sense, where we separate Christianity from any other religion. Okay? The true Christian embraces everything. True human. True Christian is a true human. So here we can progress. Now, this is a message for the whole world, for all of humanity, but like I say, particularly for all the leaders, or the people who assume leadership, including Obama. Right? What is he doing about the corruption that America is in? I know he is also a reflection of the people. He cannot do more than the people do. He cannot do more than the good people do. I think basically he's a good man. But where are the good people? Dalai Lama is a good man, but he also had to be an example of peace within. But he managed to make war inside. That's why they took out his gallbladder. That's war. Mismanagement of the body. Yeah? So he has to know more about Creator's law. If he does, he would have never had this problem with his gallbladder. So many leaders today, Bishop Tutu, cancer, and so on. All the spiritual leaders, they die of some degenerative disease